Hey guys, welcome to this very fun special edition and late edition of TFL Today. I just got back from Louisville where I was driving the brand new Acura TLX, and so we're a little late. We're a little short-staffed, and Andre's been sick the whole week, so...
Yeah, I've been sick and I'm recovering, so sorry we didn't do it at 10 o'clock, but we're going live right now.
Yeah, so we promised you a show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we mean to do that. So here we are, and Andre, what's today's topic?
Well, there are a lot of annoying things about modern cars, new cars. So this is the top 10 annoying and bad trends in new cars.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with technology, specifically what technology has enabled and what technology hasn't enabled. So let's just jump right to it. Number 10 is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is augmented engine note. And basically there are different kinds of augmented engine notes, right? So it used to be that when a car was loud, it was loud.
Yeah.
And when you heard the V8 rumble, you heard the V8 rumble, and when you heard the turbocharger, you heard the turbocharger. But because now they can put so much more sound deadening into cars, all that engine note gets lost.
Right.
So one of the ways that manufacturers have kind of gone around that problem is by taking different, let's say, sound tubes that come from the engine and actually piping it into the cabin. So the car's so quiet, they actually pipe the engine note into the car. Now that's been happening for a long time now. Audi does that with a resonator in the glass. BMW has done it with
Actual pipes.
pipes, and that's bad. Okay, that's bad. But what's really terrible is like the BMW, in my opinion at least, i8 or the Ford Mustang, the EcoBoost,
Or the F-150s.
Yeah, F-150, where they actually take the engine note and fake it by playing it through the
Speakers.
Yeah, it's just it's completely, and it's part of this kind of noise cancellation technology. So new cars can cancel noise by creating a similar sine wave to that. And now what they've gone and done is actually gone a step beyond that and actually faked the engine note.
Yeah, and actually, like Ford Raptor is one example of this as well. But when I'm in the Raptors, actually, I allow myself to be faked.
You do?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, it sounds great, and okay, I don't care if it's fake, it just sounds great.
Yeah, I hate it.
Do you buy that?
No, I don't buy it.
No?
I hate all engine note augmentation, be it the original kind where you create a sound tube or some other way, or where you actually play through the speakers. I just think it's absolutely fake, and if you want to make a car sound good, make the damn thing sound good. And if you want to make it sound loud, put some baffles in it, like the Corvette does, right? Or even the Hellcat.
Open it up, yeah.
Right, where all of a sudden you can hear it. This recording engine note and play. i8 is a perfect example of that. That has a 3-cylinder turbo in it. Right. And when you're in the thing, and obviously it's a very expensive car, so probably most people have not been in it. But when you're driving it, it sounds like you're in a Formula One car. There's
Or
no
actually
way.
like a video game.
Yeah,
almost like a video game.
Yeah, there's no way a 3-cylinder turbo out of a Mini is making Formula One sound, and yet that's what you hear. And it's so weird, and it's so wrong, guys, wrong. It's I think it's easy, I think it's cheap, and I think that's one of the reasons they do it, because it's much more expensive to actually do the mechanical engineering to get the car to sound right versus just, doing a video game exhaust in the car. And by the way, what do you guys think? We'd love to get some comments along the way as we go down here.
Yeah, we'll read them at the end of the show.
Yeah. So we'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. All right, number 9, Andre.
Number 9 is touchscreen buttons for things like controlling the volume or controlling like the seat functions, like the heating and cooling or massaging.
Yeah, so I'll give you the rationale for it. So if you talk to a mechanical engineer that works for a car company, they'll say this is the reason for that, right? People are now used to having touchscreen buttons on their phone. Everybody's used to that. So because people are used to this, they want to take this and stick it in the car. The problem is when you're with this, you tend not to be moving and driving and in a car that can actually kill somebody, right? You're probably walking down the street, and even walking down the street doing this is probably pretty dangerous. But I am to the point now where I want to feel physical buttons that actually do something, and especially buttons like the volume knob, right? That works. That's perfect, right?
It was designed that way from the beginning for a reason.
Yeah, or buttons that, for instance, even these cars, right? They have heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheels. To get to that, you have to go in like 3 different screens.
Right. There's another example. F-150 has massaging seats in the front, right? And it's actually, you have to go in like some weird settings and 3rd screen in the settings to turn on the massage function of the seat. It's a cool feature, but make it easier to access, right?
It's not just the easier to access part, it's the part of actually having a physical click that tells you that it's on and a physical click that tells you that it's off, right? It's that sensory kind of ability to actually be able to tell what's going on in the car as opposed to just like, this is nothing, there's nothing that happens.
What
Right,
about the
it's
flip
fake.
side of it? What if people say there are too many buttons in the car?
Porsche's
can't
figured that
control
out. Porsche has a lot of buttons in their cars, and it looks like you're sitting in a plane, right? It looks like you're actually sitting in a plane.
And it's cool.
And it's cool, and it's
Yeah.
tactile, and it's fun, and it's easy to understand. Because the other problem is, of course, these are relatively easy to learn. Every car has a different system, and some are better than others, as we've learned along the route.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going.
Number 8, uncomfortable headrests.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you sit down in a car and all of a
You go like
sudden,
this?
yeah, the headrest is poking you in the back of the neck, and then you try to adjust it and you can't adjust it,
Right.
right? And you're driving over like this because the thing's like pushing down on your head. What is up with that? I'm sure it's a government regulation.
So yeah, so there is a year or two ago, there was a new regulation that says there has to be more protection for whiplash,
Yeah.
right, in an accident. But some manufacturers figured out how to do that, and some may not have figured out exactly the most comfortable way to do it. For example, Ford does a pretty good way because their headrests are so soft. You can actually put your head back. But I really hate that. Just
It's one of these things that Saab figured out a long time ago. Of course, Saab is gone. So what Saab did was they put a mechanism inside the seat that was basically the headrest on a cantilever, right? And so what would happen is, in a car accident, of course, first thing that happens is you slam forward, right? And then the whiplash happens when you slam backwards because your head tilts backwards at such an extreme angle. Well, when you slant backwards, this would push,
Right.
and the headrest would automatically come up, preventing that whiplash. It was a wonderful system. I'm surprised more car makers aren't using it. Like for me, I love the Jaguar F-Type. It's one of my favorite cars. But that headrest just bites me in the back of the neck, and I could
Right.
never own that car just because of that reason.
Yep. If you're not comfortable, you can't really drive and be happy, right?
No. And of course, I also, kind of the second part of that is when they make cars designed for much smaller people than me with the side bolsters, of course, some of the performance cars, the side bolsters move in and out. Mercedes does a thing which is kind of actually cool where when you turn the steering wheel right, you're pushed off to the, when you turn to the left, you're pushed off to the right so that the right one inflates and vice versa. But a lot of these very sporty cars are designed for very thin girls like Charlotte over here. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Rowan.
And not for guys like me.
Right.
All right, number 7. This is one of your biggies.
Yeah, I don't like this. Fake hood scoops and little grills
Yeah.
and
Anything
things.
fake. Yeah.
Anything fake. So, for example, Toyota Tundra recently unveiled a facelift on their truck,
Yeah.
right? And they added specifically a fake hood scoop.
Yeah, and they do it in Tacoma too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't quite get it. I'm about function. I like function. So if I see a hood scoop, like on a Hellcat right
Yeah.
here, actually it gets the heat out of the engine, right? It's functional. I know it's there and it's working. But adding something fake, I don't get it.
Well, car manufacturers have been doing that for a long time, of course. I talked to the lead designer, actually the lead engineer for Toyota, Mike Sweers, and he says that Toyota has a very specific engine temperature that they have to keep, and very specific because of the reliability conditions that the engine lives in. So if you were to actually put that hood scoop and make it real, it would cool the engine off. I'm buying that with a huge grain of salt.
Well, he says he wants all the air to come in through the radiator.
Yeah.
And there's no radiator on the top of the hood, which makes sense. But they added the hood scoop because somebody wanted it, right? So let us know, do you guys like the fake hood scoops? I mean, the designers are doing it because somebody's asking for it, right?
No, I think they might be doing it because they think it'll sell more trucks. In that
Okay.
case, I also think anything that makes a car seem like a poser, right, where it makes it seem faster than it is, augmented engine node, fake hood scoops, big side flares that don't do anything, stuff that's performance oriented that has come from the racing world. Like the Demon, of course, has these big tires, and the reason it has these big
Fender flares?
is because it has to accommodate the big tires.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but the cheaper way to do that is forget about the big tires and just put the big fender flares on, right?
Yeah.
Make
Or
it
wheel
look fast.
spacers or something else.
Yeah, make it look fast, but it isn't fast. It isn't
Yeah.
fast and fat. All right, keep going.
Where are we at?
Different drive modes.
Number 6, different drive modes that do not appear to be doing much.
Yeah, so
Okay.
once upon, I had a 300ZX twin turbo that had like 3 drive modes, right? It had normal, sport, and comfort. And the sport mode would break your back, and the comfort mode would make you throw up because it was so wallowy. So you kept it
Okay.
normal. So modern technology has allowed us to go beyond that, right? So now we can do a whole bunch of different parameters. So we can change the weight of the steering wheel. You can change the throttle response. You can change the shift points in the transmission. You can change the way the algorithm works and allocates power to the different tires and wheels.
Right.
And so manufacturers can do all that, but manufacturers have chosen different things to do with different cars. So, like for instance, the Koreans have chosen to make the sport mode just make the steering wheel heavier.
Yeah. And my main issue, my main annoyance is, and that's not a huge annoyance, but like going from sport to sport plus.
Yeah.
Right? I know, okay, the steering wheel is tightened in sport and the throttle response is there, but I go to sport plus and I don't feel a lot different. You know, it just doesn't seem to be doing it. I know it may take away traction control and things like that, but on a daily basis, you know, maybe that's too much configurability.
Yeah, so
Is that too much?
no, so like once again, it's a Poswick deal, right? This car is actually a really good example of where it works well. So when you go from economy mode to Hellcat mode, you're gaining 700. You're going from 500 to 707 horsepower. So there's a 207 horsepower difference in those two modes. You can feel that.
Yeah.
You can feel that all day long.
And
right?
you can hear it too.
And you can hear it because the engine note changes.
Yeah.
You can also go in there and you can also change the suspension settings and change how hard or how firm it is. And a lot of the German manufacturers do that as well. So the car becomes very configurable. It's when you kind of pretend like you can do that by
Right.
just going from like, there's usually eco, normal, sport, and sport plus. So normally the way it is eco, it messes with like the HVAC settings, so it turns on the air conditioner so that you're not using as much air conditioner. That's what makes it more economical. Normal is just normal, and sport plus usually, the only thing the steering wheel does is it gets heavier. Okay, big deal, it gets heavier. And the throttle just all of a sudden goes from like idling at 2,000 to you're driving around in 4,000. So it changes the
shift point.
the shift point to like
Right.
4,000. Like I couldn't do that with my own toe, right?
Right.
So that's what I mean by fake. Yeah, it's got 4 drive modes, but basically, what we found in our testing is that whenever you floor a car, it's going to give you all the power. It's not
Even
like
an
if,
eco, yeah.
yeah, it's not
Some
like,
cars.
even an eco. Yeah, it's not like if all of a sudden you're in eco mode, you're floored, and you get half the power. You're going to get everything that car has. So it's kind of silly.
Like in a Prius.
Yeah.
Even though if you're in an eco mode,
Yeah.
slam it down, you get whatever power.
All right. This next one's your dude, but I agree with it completely.
Yeah, so especially I saw it in Detroit
Yeah.
on Audi SQ5, and number 5 is hidden exhaust pipes on sporty cars.
Yeah.
So I came up to the Audi SQ5, and there's a design element on the back that looks like an exhaust system, but the actual exhaust system is underneath the bumper, so it's hidden.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I want to see the exhaust pipes on the outside of a sporty car and hear it, right?
Yeah, I agree, man. I want to see big ass exhaust pipes, but you know, for a long time, it was uncool to be that in your face about the exhaust of the car.
So it's not environmental or something?
Right, yeah.
Or-
So like you look at any hybrid or any electric car, obviously, and they have the same tail end. You can't see the exhaust pipe. Electric car doesn't have them. A hybrid hides them. But it's the same thing. That you're trying to basically say in a very visual way that this car is very green. This car is very what am I trying to say, Andre? Environmentally friendly.
Yeah, environmentally friendly.
Well, when you
but
put it on an SQ5,
it's a sporty SUV. It's really performance oriented. So let's be real. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
put the real pipes in.
I would tell you my caveat to that would be, this is something I really hate, and actually this car does it, not in the Hellcat, but in the lower models, is when you have a big ass chrome exhaust head, and then there's like a little tiny exhaust pipe that goes into it, right? So you have this huge hole, and then you're looking there, and then there's this like little, you know, like, wait, hold on. You know, this car has big exhaust pipes, and those are the real exhausts, right? They're like whatever that is, 3-inch diameter exhaust.
Right.
But I hate when they do like a 6-inch diameter, and then
Into a 1 inch or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Right.
it's just, come on, guys. Really, once
Right.
again, you're posing.
That's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
That's pretty annoying. Okay, number 4, low spoilers.
Yeah, this is one.
And
this
this,
one has too.
yeah, the Hellcat has this for a reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a big bummer when you get a brand new car, sporty car, and you come up to a curb, and you lose your front bumper.
Or worse yet, I had a V70R station wagon, that, once again, low spoiler, and that was just high enough so you could go over a little, like, concrete barrier, and then when you back up, you would taco the spoiler, right? So you got this, like weird, like, taco-shaped bottom of the spoiler.
There must be some other solution, maybe a retractable spoiler.
Some of the supercars lift,
yeah.
like the GT lifts itself
Yeah,
and lowers
they
itself.
lift themselves up.
Yeah.
But somehow, I always forget when I pull up in a sporty car, I have to really remind myself, stop early, don't go further into the parking spot, otherwise you're gonna lose the bumper.
Yeah, every Hellcat I've ever seen, if you look underneath, and these too, if you look underneath these spoilers,
It's great.
it's all scraped to hell, yeah, because people have gone over those not thinking. That's what I love about trucks, actually. Never an issue.
And crossovers, SUVs.
Yes.
Just go over all the curbs you want.
Yeah. All right, number 3.
Number 3, and this is also in the same theme.
Yeah.
I think there's a theme developing
There's a theme
here.
developing, yeah.
Poser performance packages from manufacturers.
Yeah.
So basically cars that have the performance badge on it, but there's no more performance in the engine. It's
Yeah.
just kind of visual.
So what you're talking about, like when the Germans do it, it's like the S-Line and the Audi,
Right.
the M-Line and the BMW, the Nismo and the Nissan, right? These are just, you've got the visual cues that you've got the badass M3, but under the hood you don't.
Right. And that's annoying because, if you advertising that you have an M car, you should have an M car.
Yeah, yeah, and I think people buy those because they want the M car, but they can't quite afford it.
Right.
And
that's
so
a-
now
that's
you've
the
got the
issue.
visual cues that you have the M car or the S line, actually the S or the RS, but you really only have the S line. And so it's a way for manufacturers to kind of take advantage of that lust for their halo car and then sell the little parts and pieces off of it.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know how you feel about this stuff. I mean, are you guys all right? Seeing those, performance packages or any
Any
of this?
If you have, like, this one has a really cool sticker on the hood, right? So if you have a really badass car that has stickers on it, even the Power Wagon, right? In its own right, the thing is the top dog in that segment. So if you put stickers on it, it just makes it look cooler. But if you've got the small dog, let's say you got a Chihuahua,
Or a base car.
yeah, like a
Chihuahua.
Juke, right? You've got the Juke of the
Don't
Juke.
put stripes on your Chihuahuas.
I like
people.
I like the Juke. I'm not dissing the Juke, but let's face it, that is the Chihuahua of that segment.
Okay.
Right, and then you stick all kinds of Nismo stuff on it. You still have,
A little base car.
yeah, well, you still have a kind of a basic little crossover.
Uh-huh.
It looks cool, but if you're in the know, you're like, yeah, okay.
Right.
All right, let's keep going.
Number 2.
Oh yeah, this is
This
pretty
is
big.
this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Number 2, midnight packages that are not actually blacked out.
Yeah.
So you guys were in Chicago when Nissan unveiled their lineup of midnight editions, right?
Yeah, or whiteout. Either way.
They were painted white.
They're all white. Yeah. So monochromatic, right? Murdered out cars are huge.
Right.
And so the manufacturers have figured that out, and so now they're of course getting on the bandwagon. So like when the first murdered out car came out, you're like, wow, that's really cool. Look, it's all black, right? All the chrome is black, all the
Badges.
wheels are black, everything's black,
Yeah.
right? But now when you've got an entire lineup of cars that the manufacturer, basically designs to be murdered out, it just becomes cliche and overdone and hackneyed. I get really bored with it.
And then they make it available in multiple colors, and that just sounds counterintuitive to me.
I think it's a cheap way for people to, for manufacturers to make cars that normally are relatively boring and kind of run-of-the-mill cars and make them special, air quotes.
And
Special.
this is happening across all manufacturers.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
just
Yeah, no.
not just Nissan. I just use it as an example
Yeah, yeah.
here, but that's kind of annoying to me, and I don't like. And that's my bonus. I don't like black wheels. I hate black rims. That's just my thing.
Why?
It makes the wheel look smaller. I want the rims to look large and like.
Tommy, you like black wheels?
No.
Charlie, you like black wheels?
Yes, depending on the car.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so-
you've got, I don't mind them, so we got 2 here who like them and 2 here who don't like them.
Okay, let us know if you like black rims. Let us know in the comments.
All right, and number 1, Andre.
Number 1, and this is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a big one. Rotary dials for transmission controllers or buttons.
Yeah.
Buttons.
Yeah, so at some point, like, the manufacturers had a secret call, and they said, you know what, this shift knob that we've been using, this lever, is no good. Let's completely redesign it. Let's really mess with all the car buyers. So, Jaguar said, we'll do rotaries, and Nissan, and Acura said, we'll do buttons, and,
Okay.
so did Lincoln, and
Ford now and.
Yeah, guys, I know you're clearing up space, but they're just just unintuitive. They're confusing. In some cases, they're downright dangerous, right? There are lawsuits with some of the products because, for instance,
Well, because design may not have been perfect, perfected in the right way.
yeah, they're just not good. Yeah.
Well, there's a
not
big
good.
reason for this, right? The technical reason is they want more space for storage cubbies or to make it more configurable so the designers can put the knob either on the dash or down below. And now the Navigator just came out 2018 at the New York Auto Show, and they're using keys. They say their transmission is like piano keys.
Mm.
So they put the buttons in the middle, so you like playing like I go to reverse, drive, and park, but you have to look down, right? You can't really feel, is this
Yeah,
a
the Germans
drive?
have gone these stupid stocks, right? Or
Right.
this weird a knobby thing that you have to put into reverse by going forward. It's just all really bad. And of course, it's incorporating the e-parking brake as well. So that's really becoming annoying now when the e-parking brake comes on by itself, and then if you don't disengage it and you put it in reverse, the car won't go in reverse, or the transmission has to then warn you that the car's not in reverse. It's just anything that makes it more less intuitive and more complicated, in my mind, is a bad thing. Maybe I'm sounding like an old man. Maybe you guys, if you grew up driving keys for transmissions, then maybe you'll find that the most intuitive and the best thing ever. But man, dude, they had that big ass lever that you just put into drive, and there's actually a physical connection, right? At one point, the reason they have all these different ways is that there's no physical connection
Right.
between the
It's all-
transmission and the control.
Right.
That lever actually controls a
It
big,
used to go down through the transmission.
yeah, a big metal stalk that went into the transmission, actually put
Right.
the car. And I love that feeling of engagement, that feeling that you're one with the machine. And anytime you make it electronic or electric, you lose that. It becomes like a video game. Might as well just go drive a video game.
So it's a little annoying.
So what are any comments we're getting, guys, that we want to
Yes,
respond to?
I have some here.
Yeah,
Well, Sean actually brings up a good point when we were talking about the chin spoiler,
yeah.
especially in an off-road worthy vehicle like the Colorado.
Yeah, that's because the Colorado and any of the Z71
Right,
packages, which are their off-road packages, have
Still
them.
have them, yeah.
And the reason for that is because of CAFE standards, right? So even though they're useless off-road, and I was actually at the Colorado launch in God, what was it?
San Diego, right?
No, I was in California. It was in, I can't think of the Solvang. I was in Solvang.
Okay.
And they took us off-road, and I was talking to the engineers, and I said, this thing won't come off. And they said, oh, you just got to get underneath it. And I had just driven over a tarantula the size of a dinner plate. I'm like, I'm not getting down there taking that off. But
By
they-
accident, you drove over it by
yeah,
accident.
I was
Okay.
just, I didn't
Okay.
realize it was a tarantula crossing the road. And I ran
Okay.
over it. And then I
So you don't want to lay down.
no, well, then I had to stop and see because it was such a huge ass tarantula. So anyway, the reason they do that, like I started, is because of CAFE standards. So what it does is it lowers their corporate numbers, their fuel economy numbers. So it gets them maybe 1 mpg, and that's why they put them on. Even though
And
it
this
makes
is
no
questionable.
sense.
There's a lot of debate about this. Some other publications have been doing testing with and without spoilers. In their manuals, Chevrolet has, they state that cooling may be affected without the spoiler
Yeah.
for the engine. So, there's a lot of controversy about this, but it is done in the name of aerodynamics, right?
Yeah, for better fuel economy.
I got another one, and I actually think we should give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Our friend Jan Dolezal.
Yeah, hey Jan, how you doing in the Czech
Jan,
Republic?
He doesn't like diesels in passenger cars.
Well, diesel is a sensitive subject right now. In a lot of
That's a
things.
whole show in itself, Jan. I'm like, where do I go with that?
Let's see. I used to be, and I still am.
You
to
drive
some
a
degree.
diesel Golf.
I bought a 2002 VW TDI, brand new. That's 15 years ago, so I've been a huge fan of diesels, but right now I'm annoyed by them. So yes, I agree with you. My diesel is now stinky, it's loud.
It's always been stinky. It's always been loud. It was never not stinky. You're rolling coal.
So let's move on to hybrids and hydrogen fuel cells.
A lot of comments on CVTs.
Yeah, that's like we don't want to beat a dead horse. I thought about the
Yeah,
CVT.
we've been beating that dead
We've
horse
been-
for
so we're not going to beat the CVT dead horse anymore. I agree. That's another one. It is what it is.
Start stop.
Start stop is super annoying. Especially combined with the diesel. If you have a diesel, then the whole car kind of just shakes because the diesel has so much more heft and weight to it. It does save fuel.
So this is an interesting one because some manufacturers do it better than others, right?
Yeah.
And I think manufacturers are getting better and better because this is actually complicated because you have to stop and start the engine in such a position where it doesn't vibrate where it restarts.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very complicated engineering task. But I kind of like that feature because I feel like it saves me fuel when I'm sitting in traffic.
So I like the feature if you flip it around, right? Right now what happens is if you have a traditional car, you come to a stop sign or a stoplight and the engine turns off and you're very aware that it's turning off because your air conditioning may stop working.
Or it slows down.
Or it slows down and then the whole car vibrates. But I like it, like say you have the NSX, when that car is pretty much already an electric car and then the motor is just kind of helping out, then you don't really notice the difference. You notice when the engine comes on, but it's usually when you're flooring it. So in that kind of context it works, when the car is already very quiet and
Or it's
electric.
a hybrid already.
Yeah, but in a regular car, especially diesel, oh my god.
Yeah, it's very noticeable. If it's noticeable and you feel the shaking, that's annoying and that's no good.
And most manufacturers actually give you a button to turn that off. So if you really
Yeah.
need it, that's why I'm not going to beat that dead horse because you can turn it off. The other one that I actually absolutely hate and I didn't put it on the list is lane keep or the
And the beeping.
Yeah, the car knows where the lines are, and when you cross over those lines, it either vibrates the steering wheel or softly, gently pushes you. It's super annoying. The second I get into a car that has that, I turn it off right away.
You know what's else annoying is when you shut the car off and on, most cars will default to lane keep
Yes,
assist system.
it defaults back.
So you have to turn it off again and again and again every time you get in the car. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
Any other comments before we wrap this up?
People seem to like the black rims. That seems to be.
Yeah, that's a common
I
theme.
still don't like them. somebody asked about the Type R.
Yeah.
I was in New York and I saw the production, basically so close to production car. It's
3 spoilers on a front-wheel drive car, Andre.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
A lot of spoilers. But
No, what's wrong? Think about it. What's wrong with 3 spoilers on the back of a front-wheel drive car?
nothing. Nothing is wrong. Because
No.
they're functional. I was speaking to Davis.
They are.
Yeah, and the top ones, he said create turbulence.
Yeah.
It hits the huge spoiler that's
Yeah.
actually sitting on top of the trunk
Yeah.
and actually helps out. I don't know what the third one is doing. I don't get it. But it's functional according to the Honda.
That would be really functional if it was a rear-wheel drive car and you actually push down on the back and you help give a grip, but with a front-wheel drive car, right, you're kind of...
So this is a good one for Andre.
Yeah.
Yes.
22-inch rims on a pickup truck.
Ooh.
Is it annoying or not?
Yep.
I like it. I like it. I think it's too expensive, but I like the way it looks.
It decreases your tow rating.
Yes, and I don't like that. But if it didn't decrease your tow rating, like on semi-trucks, you have a large rim and a large tire. If you could put a larger tire and a 22-inch rim without affecting your tow ratings, I would love that.
Yeah, remember we had that Ford F-150 EcoBoost and we were limited with the 22s,
Yes.
and we wanted to tow, I think the regular EcoBoost tows like 10,000 pounds and we wanted to do it, and we couldn't do it because the wheels, the 22s actually got
Yeah,
annoying.
they're rated like about 8,000 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan because I think it limits you in 2 ways. It limits you in towing and it limits you off-road. They're useless off-road, they're useless for
Right.
towing. So it makes a truck into like a Hollywood cruiser, which is weird. If you're gonna go that route, just go with some big-ass, massive off-road tires. It does the same thing, it looks just as cool, and you'll be able to go off-road, and you'll be able to tow.
Yeah, I agree completely. If you can put a large enough tire on it.
Yeah. Anything else, boys and girls over there?
We got a lot of people that want to hear the Hellcats. But
Yeah.
Well, let's start it up for them.
We can
Yeah,
start it
let's
up.
start both of them up. We'll start them up for you, sure.
We gotta open the door though.
Yeah, or you'll see us, it'll be a different video than we had imagined.
It will be the last live show we've
Bye,
ever
guys.
Oh,
done.
yeah. All right, Andre. All right, you get that one. We'll do it together. And by the way, guys, we're giving away. We've got a whole bunch of hats that we're giving away. Have we figured out who we're giving this away to?
Not yet. I can do that while you start the Red Cat, Hellcat.
they want to hear them together.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, is this gonna be a symphony of Hellcats?
Yeah.
That sounds
Okay.
nice.
All right. So here, you go figure that out. We're gonna give away a hat to somebody.
So do one more question. Do one.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh. That's a good-
EcoBoost,
that's a good one.
EcoBoost and Raptor.
Yeah, EcoBoosted Raptor. That's a really good one. It's more powerful, it's faster, it's better at altitude, and I love a V8. So I'm gonna say I would rather have a V8 in a truck because they go together like peanut butter and jelly. Another good comment here was fake carbon fiber, and I think that goes along with that theme of poser. A lot of cars have fake carbon fiber, and luckily, you know, I'd rather have a car. Let me show you the interiors of these two cars, right? No fake carbon fiber, even though this sticker does look like fake carbon fiber, but it's not. So let's show them the inside of this car. What they've done for 2017, this is really cool, I'm gonna show you guys, is they've done something really cool with this SRT badge on the steering wheel. So check this out. So I'm gonna start it up.
You don't actually need to start it up.
No, it can just turn on?
Just lights. There it goes.
Yeah, it just turns on. Look, at night it glows red. It's kind of backlit. It's really cool. That's one of the big changes that I wish that one had over there. Yeah, so why don't, did Andre take the keys, Charlotte? Do you have the keys?
No, I don't have the keys.
Go grab the keys and you can start that one up.
Yeah, where are they?
Andre has them. Yeah, time to show them the badge in the back. That's different too.
Can you open up this door here?
Yeah, so look at the badge over here. They put the little Hellcat cat on the back of it. And then show them the other one, Tommy.
So right here, SRT, no cat on the 16.
Yeah, there's no cat. And of course, this has got that kind of crazy Fast and Furious look to it. I think those wheels are pretty much straight off of a Demon, aren't they? That's what the
Well, they look like it,
They
but
look like
they're
it,
very
yeah.
different sizes.
They're different sizes, but the look is the same. And the color is very Fast and Furious. If you've seen the movie, which we actually went and saw, it's very reminiscent of that. Now, show them the tires. So these are the tires. These were brand new like 1,000 miles ago. That's how much tread is left on these. And look at these. This car has, I think, like 2,000. I mean, you just burn through those tires
Like nothing.
like nothing because you're always doing burnouts. So did you figure out who
Yeah, so here's the thing we're doing, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have a Patreon account and
Yeah.
page where some of you guys are supporting us, and we thank you very much because our revenue fluctuates crazily, and we're struggling, you know, to bring you the great videos. So
And by the way, if you want to support us, you go to patreon.com/TFLcar.
yep, to support us and give a little donation every month. But we want to thank the people who support us in the biggest way possible,
Yep.
which is $10 a month.
So we're giving away hats every
Yes.
time we do one of these live shows.
And we're going to pick a name at random from the patrons that support us.
So who got that hat?
And Ryan Alvarez, I just picked at random. I just went to the computer.
I hope you're an Acura fan, Ryan, because you're getting an Acura hat.
I'm going to email you, Ryan, and ask you if you want an Acura hat. And if you do, we'll send you the hat.
And if you don't, we'll give it away on Monday to somebody else. Because that's what you get.
Hey, you can start it remotely. We can start them both remotely.
Hey, yeah, let's start it remotely. But you can't floor them.
No, you can't floor them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready, guys? You ready? Okay, Charlotte. Well, there you have it, guys. A symphony of Hellcats. You think two Hellcats equal one demon, Andre?
More than one demon. This is 1,414 horsepower.
That's right. And
That's a lot of power.
1,300 pound-foot of torque.
Yes, that's a lot.
You know what we should do? We should do a tug of war.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
I bet you'd love to see that. I'm sure.
Talking about tires,
Yeah,
I
Dodge
think
would-
those tires are going to be gone.
All you guys at Dodge, we were just joking. We're joking. But for all you viewers, yeah, we should do it.
All right.
All right. Thanks for watching. As
Okay.
always, this is Roman
And Andre.
and Tommy and Charlotte behind the camera saying thanks for watching, guys. And remember, come back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, usually at 10 o'clock. We'll definitely be doing one on Monday at 10 o'clock.
Are we?
Yes.
We'll be at the track.
No, we'll be back.
Okay.
We'll be back. All right. See you guys then. Take care and have a great weekend. Ciao.
Okay, bye.